Okay, we're gonna see how this goes. Yes. Nope. This is going great. In you go. Woo. Oh boy. We've reached a very exciting moment in the process. This is when you let the grounds bloom. But how much milk? Oh, I should just milk. Okay, so for the most part, I feel like I know how to participate in polite society. When I need to get around someone, I say, excuse me. If there's a confusing 3 checkout lines into 1 checkout line situation at Walgreens, I do my best to make sure I'm not cutting anyone. And if I'm taking the subway, I let everybody off the train before I get on. You get what I'm saying? I'm perfect. Okay, fine, but you do get what I'm saying. At the very least, I'm just out here trying to do the courteous, civilized thing. In fact, people come to me with questions about what the right thing to do is in a wide variety of situations. Do you bring a gift to a bridal shower and an engagement party? Is cash an acceptable wedding gift? If I've already spent approximately $2,000 traveling to someone's proposal, engagement party, bachelor party, and wedding, could I perhaps give them a nice hug as a wedding gift? I'm just kidding, Jeff and Jeff. But let me know if that check cashed. Okay, so maybe I exclusively field questions about wedding attendance. And to be honest, I don't even know how I became looked upon as a qualified resource to answer those questions. I think I just generally give off maid of honor vibes, so people think I know what's what when it comes to weddings. And to be fair, I crushed it as maid of honor, so. And yet, wide breadth of knowledge and wisdom aside, and yet, small but deep area of expertise aside, and yet, knowing how much to spend off the registry at Crate and Barrel aside, there is still one everyday, very basic financial situation that gives me so much anxiety. Like 90% of the time, I have no fucking idea how much to tip. To level set, here's a list of scenarios in which I feel totally confident that I'm tipping and not offending anybody. Yep, it's just restaurants, and you know why? Because I always tip 20%. I'm going to tip you 20% unless something truly outrageous happens. You would have to fuck my shit up. I can't even think back on a time in which I tipped somebody less than 20%. I think maybe once I tipped 15% because the server was mean or it took a long time. I don't even know. And that, my friends, is where my confidence ends. Restaurants, coffee shops, ice cream, takeout, it's all just one giant swiveling iPad of shame after another. And it's crazy because I've actually worked as a restaurant server, an ice cream scooping person, and a bartender. You would think I have this on lock. I don't. So many of these people are working so hard and I just want to tip them an amount that's appropriate. And one for which I will not be judged. Part of the reason this stuff gives me anxiety is that I have no idea what other people tip. Does everybody else feel super confident about tipping except for me?
I really don't ever feel confident when I'm tipping.
Not confident at all.
I really don't feel confident that the person will feel good.
I feel like I just throw out arbitrary numbers.
Basically at the end I'm like, what happened? It feels like you black out when you have to tip.
Okay, so at least I'm not alone.
I feel
Very confident.
Confident in my intent to feel like I tipped the right amount.
pretty confident.
Like read a lot about tips. I always tip. I can do math in my head.
All right, well, at least I'm not entirely alone.
It depends on the size of the cow. And
Oh my God. A mixed bag, shall we say? There are tons of reasons everyone gets stressed about tipping. From the people you're with.
it can be kind of awkward on a date or around friends.
Friends are total shitstorm.
Really?
Like, I feel bad.
If you're around someone like where you need to make a good impression,
It's like someone you don't know kind of well. You want to impress them by like giving a tip.
If I'm with like a work person or someone I don't know well, I just go hard on the tips.
if my friends tip first, I like to tip $1 more and then say, sorry, my friends are so cheap.
To the math part.
I don't understand math.
So I'm really bad at math.
I do comms, I don't math.
To the just wanting the person who works at your local coffee shop to be paid fairly. And like you.
If it's a place I like go to and know the baristas, then I will tip $1.
I am so afraid of hurting someone's feelings.
If it's like a place I frequent, then yeah.
This is a big one for me. I love coffee. I buy it and drink it a lot. I love the taste. I love the smell. I love the feeling it gives me. I have a very healthy and not at all questionable level of appreciation for coffee. You would think tipping coffee shop workers and baristas would be a slam dunk for me. Just right in the bucket. Draining bucket. Nothing but net, baby. Swish. And yet, it is not swish. It is the opposite of swish. I pay for my coffee and then they swivel the little iPad checkout thing towards me, presenting not one, not two, but a full bevy of tipping options. 15%, 20%, custom entry.
Coffee tipping is probably the most stress-inducing experience of your life.
The one I don't feel confident in is tipping for coffee.
Yeah, I would not drip versus, well, oh gosh, I don't know.
The person making the drink is usually someone different than who I'm paying at the register, so should I just assume that they're all gonna split tips, that my money's gonna end up in the right place? Should I even factor that into the equation? What if I'm just getting a simple cup of coffee? Like, what if they just poured it into a cup?
I think I usually tip $1, but not every time.
If you get like a $1.50 coffee from like a New York like corner store, I probably wouldn't tip on that.
That's a no-tip situation.
No, I typically won't for that.
Okay.
No.
On the other hand, what if it's a fancy bev? Like a latte or a cappuccino or something where you have to steam a bunch of milk? That seems like it takes a lot more work, so should we tip on that differently?
If I'm like at Sight Glass getting like a $5 latte, I would tip on that. So then maybe the answer is yes.
If you have to whip it up, it's a whole thing.
Funny, because like making a latte, for example, is like almost like mixing a cocktail, so there's legit work that goes in there.
If you're not whipping it up, you're just,
It depends what their latte art looks like.
In conclusion, the exact right amount to tip for a cup of coffee in all situations is, yeah, I still have no idea, but it sounds like if I go with at least $1, half or most of the time, I will not be cast out from society, or more importantly, Blue Bottle. Maybe I should just get really good at using the Chemex. At least I can take some solace in the fact that nobody agrees on what to do in pretty much every other tipping situation.
Take out where you're going to the restaurant to pick it up.
If it's a restaurant I frequent, I will tip.
I gotta tip like 8%.
Yeah, a couple bucks.
Yes.
No.
Tattoo artist.
Yes, absolutely.
Never gotten a tattoo.
Yes.
I don't know if I tip my tattoo artist. Is that what we're supposed to do?
If you get a nice tattoo, that could be anywhere from like $500 to $1,000, you should easily be tipping $100 to $150.
Kaylee said yes.
I don't know. I think so. Then yeah, I probably tip.
You think you would tip them?
I would, definitely, yeah.
Ice cream.
Yes.
No.
Ooh, never tip for ice cream.
Yeah.
Do people tip for ice cream?
Yeah.
Really?
Why would you tip for ice cream? That's crazy.
A cobbler.
Yes.
Like a shoe person.
Oh, I thought you meant like a peach cobbler.
Not applicable.
Like pie.
Yeah, I gave him $10 on like 70.
I'm like, yeah, I love dessert.
If I were to ever get my shoes cobbled, I would probably tip.
My cobbler,
Never been to a shoe cobbler.
I tip him a nice silver dollar.
Okay.
Does everybody have a different approach to tipping? Yes. Would I say I learned something through all this? Sure. Was it how to tip properly? No. But that's okay. I feel like as long as you're leaving a tip that seems right to you and maybe similar-ish to what your friends do, you're probably gonna be okay. Or at least better than Sean.
I don't tip.
At all?
No. Don't edit that to make it look like I don't tip.
Weird, right? I thought he was a nice guy. Hello! Wait, before you go, here's a tip. Subscribe to my channel. That was terrible. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Bye!